ETA flags, prepare for launch.
Hold it! Don't do that! Let me start off with this. Did you know the PAL version of Starfox was known as Starwing? The name was changed due to a German company at the time known as Starfox. In Germany, the letter F is pronounced like a V, so the name was changed to avoid confusion for German players. Well then just change it in fucking Germany! Don't make the rest of us suffer! Starfox was released for the Super Nintendo in 1993 and featured revolutionary 3D graphics. This was achieved with the Super FX chip. The chip allows for rendering of simple three-dimensional objects, and I think it's safe to say that all modern video games owe themselves to this chip. Before we jump into the game, we have the option of going into training mode. This is a level with various obstacles that allow us to practice flying in a safe environment. What do you expect? It's a fucking training mode. When we start the game, we get to choose the path that we'll take on our mission. Each path is different and offers various levels of difficulty. The difficulties are: game over on the last level, give up about here-ish, and I wonder what the second level looks like. Now, I'm no Starfox expert, but my gaming senses are telling me that this is harder than a porn star's pecker. We play the part of Fox McCloud, the leader of the Starfox team. He's accompanied by Slippy Toad, Peppy Hare, and Falco Lombardi, as they are sent on a mission to the planet Venom to destroy Andros, a mad scientist that was banished from Corneria and is seeking revenge. Of course, the game doesn't tell you all of that, as far as I can tell. The first level sees us defending the planet Corneria from an attack using lasers and bombs. Oh my god, how kick-ass is that fucking music? Every stage has intense, heart-jolting music to keep you on the edge of your seat. At the end of each level, you have to fight a boss. While some of the boss fights are far too easy, others can serve a real challenge. However, every boss is huge and intimidating. A really cool feature about this game is that your crew members have health bars. Enemies will try to kill them, and it's your job to save them. While this can be a pain in the arse, it is a good addition. They also help you to attack enemies and can save you if you're in trouble. It definitely makes you feel like part of a team, which is a good thing. The level variety is great. Sometimes you'll be defending a planet or avoiding asteroids. Other times you'll have to fly through spaceships and blow them to hell. Awesome! Sometimes you go into a first person view. This is great. Normally going first person in a game like this would be very disorienting, but that isn't the case. It may be because all you see is the crosshairs. While this makes aiming much easier, avoiding obstacles can be a bit more of a challenge, as you can't see the entire vehicle. This game is really fun, and it offers a great challenge. I can't beat this game! Now, I haven't been playing this game for years like some people, so I'm not as experienced, but this game is still pretty hard. If you want a good challenge, play Starfox. It also doesn't help when the game starts lagging like crazy due to all the shit on screen. While this can be a huge issue at first, your brain actually gets used to it after a while. So I generally play on the easy path, and this is as far as I've ever made it. The boss at the end of Venom Stage 2, fuck this fucking thing. You only have a few lives, and when you run out of lives, it is game over. You only get one continue, although you can earn more continues and lives by getting a certain amount of points at the end of a stage. Once you're out of continues, the game is over. When it gets to this point, my head just starts to hurt, so I turn it off and try again some other time. I'm pretty sure there's only one level left after this, ending with a boss fight with Andross. He is a giant face. Spoiler alert. This game is really fun and quite challenging. Starfox gets 7 out of 10. Now, let's fast forward to 1997. The Nintendo 64 has been out for a year or so, and Starfox 64 is released. Now, I didn't skip 62 other Starfox games. If a game was released on the N64, it normally had 64 in the title, which is stupid. The only thing more stupid than that is what the PAL version's called. Lilac Wars. Yeah. If the first one was renamed to Star Wing, then why not call this one Star Wing 64? It makes no fucking sense! Starfox 64 is a remake of the first game, as you're travelling the Lilac system. Oh, I get it! On your way to Venom to destroy Andross. The difference this time is it actually explains the story. Fox's father, James McCloud, led the original Starfox team to Venom to take care of Andross, but one of the crew members betrayed them, Pigma Dengar. Jesus, how'd they come up with that? James was killed, and the other member of the team known as Peppy Hare barely escaped. Yes, Peppy worked for Fox's father, and now is going with him to avenge James's death. Cool! At least we know who the bad guys are this time. Now, I'm not a fan of the N64 controller, so we'd better have a go at training first. Holy shit, this is much better. Training mode actually explains how to do certain moves, and when to use them. The first game didn't do that. There are a lot of new moves to pull off. You can do loops, U-turns, and barrel rolls.
Do a barrel roll!
These were in the first game, but I usually forgot I could do them. They can deflect bullets. Nice. You can also lock onto targets and fire devastating laser blasts for effective removal of enemies. This game also introduces all range mode. This is fucking awesome. Instead of flying down a set path, you get to fly around an open area destroying enemies. The ships also control much better, and that may be due to using the analog stick. It just feels right. So far, I'm impressed. This is a huge, huge improvement over the first game. Returning from the first game is dialogue from your crew members, but instead of we get actual dialogue. This is great, mainly because I don't have to try and read while flying a plane through a barrage of bad guys. They also remind me to use certain abilities that I would have otherwise forgotten I had.
Do a barrel roll!
While all of this is good, there are some things that I'm not a fan of. The first person mode this time is awful. It makes me feel sick. Instead of just having the crosshairs move, this time the entire ship moves in stiff, jagged motions. The music isn't as kick-ass as before. It is rather calm and uninspired. While it isn't horrible, it isn't great. Rather than selecting your fate at the beginning like before, the path you take is determined by various factors during levels, helping to make your journey different each time. Some levels also see you driving a tank on land, which is a nice change of pace. You still have to save your team members from dying in this game, and from what I can tell, their health goes down much quicker. I never lose teammates in the first game, but I haven't beaten this without losing at least one. When a crew member is knocked out, they sit out for a level and then return with full health. It adds quite a bit of realism and almost forces you to protect your teammates because they make the challenge much easier.
Do a barrel roll!
Now that I mention it, this entire game is much easier. I don't know if it was the path that I chose or not, but the entire experience was far too easy. I can sit down and beat this game any time with ease. Compare that to the previous game where I've never even beaten it in the few years that I've been playing it. After the story, you can mess around with your friends in multiplayer mode, although I can't comment on this because I haven't experienced it. I'm so alone. Starfox 64 is a good game, but it is far too easy in my opinion. If the first game was as tight as this, or if this game had the difficulty level from the first game, then they would be perfect. Instead, we have a stiff game with high difficulty that will break your thumb, and a game that feels perfect with hardly any challenge. I don't know, maybe it's just me. With all that being said, this is a great game and has lots of improvements over the first one, although it does fail in some other departments. My feelings for these games are quite similar, so for that reason, Starfox 64 gets 7 out of 10.
Do a barrel roll!
Now I've had plenty of requests to review various games, mainly for Sega's mascot character. All from the same person, but whatever. Well, your wish has been answered. Next time, I'll be taking a look at the Blue Blur. And to celebrate, let's barrel roll!
Barrel roll!